You?
Really good, busy. So good morning, everybody. I am live here with Liz Harris from Spirit Tree Visions. Hi, Liz. How are you doing? Thank you so much for your time today.
I'm good today. Thanks, Lilia. Thanks for inviting me along.
Not at all. It's an absolute pleasure. Obviously, you and I have met before up at Barmolach with the incredible Vida B. And obviously, I mean, I totally loved what you did. And I thought it's really good to get people on, because when you live in our world, you sort of you think everybody knows what everything is, and all different kinds of healers and different modalities of exploration and meditation, etc. So I thought it's really good to do these lives so that people can A, get to meet you, and B, find out a little bit more about what shamanic practices are, shamanic visioning. So can you just start off by kind of telling me how you got into this?
I always remember when I was 5 years old, my gran saying to me, my gran was a seer, and she says, they won't understand you, Elizabeth, until you get a lot older. And I was a bit of a, maverick. I was a bit of a hellraiser. And then it was like a square peg in a round hole. I never fitted in. And I had a lot of jobs in my life that took me very corporate. I was a real corporate wizard in advertising and things like that, until I was 32, and I had meningitis and almost died.
Wow.
And my kids were wee, and I thought, oh my God, what's happening? But something changed that day. When I came out of hospital, I remembered who I was.
Okay.
And it takes a lifestyle kick up the bottom to make you realise. And I was lying on the settee one night, not long after I got home, and I was watching a programme on the TV, and it was in Gaelic. And I started speaking Gaelic.
Really?
I never had a word of it in my life, but I was very connected to the islands and the West Coast. And it kind of grew for there. Right. But still, I continued to make mistakes in my life. I was going down rabbit holes because I didn't quite want to embrace what was happening. And the more I kicked against it, the more it kicked me, basically. Mm-hmm. And I went through a lot of disasters, 2 sets of homelessness, and, have nothing. And I eventually realised that I had to embrace what was in front of me. So I thought it was Buddhism. So I studied at Samueling for 3 years. That was near it. Shamanism found me. And then Druidry found me. And the rest history, basically. I just opened up to everything that is. And my reason for being here, I remembered who I was and my purpose.
Brilliant.
And from there, it's just grown and grown and grown. I never thought 5 years ago when I set up Spirit Tree, it was just a wee couple of drum circles a month. And now the drum circles, which started off at 6 people in a wee yurt, are now 50 people every 2 weeks.
No, I saw that. It's absolutely fantastic.
It's amazing. And
the drum is so kind of sorry.
Brings everything in. It brings everything in, And everybody thinks, when I did my shamanic training years ago, I trained in the Native American genre. But in actual fact, shamanism is global. It always has been.
Yes.
So I went back to my Celtic roots.
Yes.
And every time I go home, I get more. I get more information. I just sit with the land and the people and the ancestors, and they give me more. every time I go, you know. So a few years ago, I wrote a course, 2 courses actually, and I called it Shamanic Earth Medicine. That was what I was given. And also wrote an Ogham course, which is the Druidic language of the trees. And last year I started teaching. And I've got a beautiful set of students going into their 2nd year, and my 1st year is full as well this year. What can I say, Lilia? Living the dream, living the vision.
You're aligned.
I'm totally aligned, you know. But I've found that the more you kick against it, the more it'll kick you. And actually pull you into it, you know.
Have you come across Ros Simmons?
I've heard the name.
She's a drum maker, but she also she's big into Celtic trees.
Aye.
And she has tuning forks.
Was it Ros that was on the course last year?
Yes.
Aye, I know where you're talking about. Yeah.
So she has all these they're tuning forks. She's got them hanging, and then she'll tell you what tree it is. And I just love the fact, because our land is so rich, you know, rich in flora and wild medicine, but also rich in history. And, you know, we're always looking to other places for romantic ideas, but in actual fact, there's a load of incredible stuff to be garnered from our own ancestors.
Absolutely. I mean, my ancestry is Celtic, so why wouldn't I bring that forward?
Yeah.
You know, be with your own land. Be with your own ancestors, because they're going to feed you. And the trees feed you, you know. It's an amazing journey. It really, really is an amazing journey.
So talk us through one of the circles. There's a few people coming on there. Gina Clark, Laura Skinner, Fiona. Hi, Fiona. Maura saying the circles are great. So talk us through, you know, what happens at a circle. Because again, you know, I think there's a lot of people that would like to join in things, but sometimes they're too scared because they don't really know what it is. So what would one of your women's circles, what do we do there?
Well, they're not just for women, Lilia. It's open
for men too.
Yeah. Well, basically, I go with the flow. I never know on the day what's going to happen, because I'm channeling, you know. And sometimes my spirit guides give me the information the day before or whatever. I've seen me going into circle and not having a clue because, you know, that they'll channel when they're ready. But basically, we sit in circle and we hold each other with so much love. Everybody is seen, everybody is heard, and everybody has an opportunity to bring forward what they need in that circle. So we usually have 3 rounds of drumming. We open the directions, we drum in our intentions, we light candles for our intention, and we have a healing round, which, Lilia, is amazing. You know, I place chairs in each of the directions, and people are welcome to come and sit in these chairs. And then other people will come up and give a healing. And we're drumming the whole time and rattling, using our voices and just amplifying it. You know,
do you have to have a drum to come, or can you come without one?
Lilia, I've got 23 drums and they all travel with me. So no, you don't need a drum, because you can borrow on the day. You can bring a pot and pan and hammer away at that if you want it. It's the drum. And the drum takes you into an altered state of reality. It takes you out of the head and brings you to the heart. And that's what shamanism is. It's the path of the heart. It's direct revelation, you know. And I do a journey as well. changes all the time, you know. Every circle is different, and everybody has a very important part to play, you know. And it's like one big family. And when we get new people in, they're welcomed into the family and they never go. They never go.
Yeah. You just adopt them, keep on adopting more.
Absolutely. I think there's, I opened up a shamanic drum circle add-on to Spirit Tree, and I think there's 1,300 people in the tribe.
Brilliant.
As you know,
but we underestimate the kind of the drumming and the stamping of the feet and what that does from a wild medicine perspective, you know. But it's just, I mean, why did we ever stop moving the body like that? And, you know, it's so powerful.
I encourage people to use their voice. I don't care if you're an opera singer. Feel it from here. Feel it from the heart. Let your voice be heard, be seen, be held.
Well, you know, my friend is an anthropologist, and he said, you know, in the indigenous communities in Africa, nobody sits and listens to one person sing. It's not about the pleasure of a voice. It's about, you know, making that sound throughout your instrument of consciousness and your musical instrument. And, you know, and then when you get that amplified, I remember doing it in Malta once where I actually thought she'd put on some angel music, but it was the harmonics. It's just unbelievable.
It's unless you experience it, you can't actually describe it. You can't.
Yes, I know, that's exactly it.
It's like going out into nature and communing with the land and the trees. You have to.
You do outside?
No, I have done during lockdown.
Hard in Scotland, isn't it? Because
it's hard.
I know.
It's hard. During lockdown, I did illegal ones out in a field. And we sat around the campfire and we drummed, we played guitars, we sang, we danced, we told stories, you know, and it was just that connection. But I do hold the drum circles in Fife, in Milton of Balgony Village Hall. And people keep saying to me, you're needing a bigger hall. And I'm going, no, that's it. No, because it's a big space to hold, you know.
Absolutely. Have you been up at Rory McPhee's place at Lindor Curative Forest?
No, I haven't.
I need to introduce you to it. That'd be an awesome place to do it.
Let's go.
Absolutely awesome place to do it. And listen, could you come to the Sky Festival? I've been saying for ages, I just love a whole load of drums. I just think it's primal. It is amazing. I just love it. And we know that it's what it does to the brain. You know, the change in the frequency. Yeah, exactly. And it's such a fun way to do it. Anyway, we'll talk about that after. Okay. So let's talk about the Goddess Gathering. Please. And what you're bringing to the Goddess Gathering for people that are maybe looking at getting tickets and wondering what's going on so that they understand.
Okay. Shamanic visioning. The first thing I would say, it helps you answer the question, who am I?
The big one.
It's a really good question. Visioning, how I use visioning, if I'm needing an answer for something, I'll sit with my guides, call them in, and I'll ask the question, what I'm needing an answer for. And I'm lucky, I don't need the drum, I can just sit with them. But the visioning is about, I think at the gathering, so far what they're telling me is answering the question, who am I? And am I dreaming the right dream?
Yes.
Yes. Because all too often in this world, it's a very materialistic world. I can't be bothered with it, you know. It doesn't suit me. We're too fixated on paying bills, doing this, doing that, working, and we forget there's another life out there. So visioning is about taking you into the realms of spirit to answer questions that you may have. But really, the fundamental question, and I ran this one last Saturday in Perth, and the feedback, Lilia, was exponential.
Brilliant.
It was, am I dreaming the right dream? Is my head taking me away from what's in my heart?
Yes.
Yeah. Because we all think we need this, that, and the next thing, all these materialistic things, but we are actually the tool to change our lives. Only we can do it. And when we connect with spirit, they are so glad to see you. You know, they are saying, yeah, they're here, sort of thing.
We've only been waiting 50 years.
Aye, don't wait. But when we can, when I guide you into these other realms, because only I'm drumming, so you know you have the opportunity to just lie down and be, and come out the head and into your heart. And what is your dream? How do you perceive your life? What changes do you want to make? You know, and these are all fundamental questions we must ask. Because
absolutely,
Lilia, I'm living my dream. It takes a lot of hard work. It's not the easiest path, but when you embrace it, it just opens up so much potential for you to be.
Don't you think it's you know, you and I are pretty much, we can do what we want, really, but there's so many people they can't really follow their heart as easily because of the overheads of living in our current model.
Yeah.
So, you know, because it just doesn't match. People are like, they want to do certain things, but they also have to pay all their bills, feed their kids, look after their parents. You know, I recognize, you know, very much I'm in a phenomenal stage of my life. It's taken 63 years to get here, you know. And I think there's a few, you know, that's what makes it hard for people, that the things that you would love to do, you just can't make enough money at, or you would have to work so many hours to do it. And that's, you know, that's a big problem for a lot of people, isn't it?
It certainly is. And it's a problem I had for many years, being a singleton. But when I went home in August, I was at burnout. I was told I was going into burnout, trying to work full time and work full time with Spirit Tree. And when I sat there on the causeway, as I do every day, it was, why worry? The minute you come into alignment, things will open for you. And it is very possible to do the shamanic work, to embrace the practice, but still be in the world as it is. It will make you see it differently. It takes away stress, striving, you know, because we all strive too hard to reach a goal that's unobtainable. But when we set the parameters that are given to us, you know, through the spirit realms, life becomes a damn sight easier. And we start to understand things.
That's why we created the Goddess Gathering in this way. You know, previous to this tour, it was very much about come and try, come and see, come and meet. That this time I was like, no, we want to really delve in and give people the tools that they can use, and the ideas and the expansion and the understanding that's really going to change things at a cellular level. And that's why, and it's phenomenal feedback from Glasgow and Edinburgh. And I think we've had this break, and now we're like just really excited, you know, to get up to the east and to the north of the country, because you know, from a Heal Scotland perspective, I was very aware we were very much based in the one area because of just demographically where I live. But we be looking, we need to be spreading the word and networking with people like you that are already doing amazing things and inspiring others to do it, because
everybody has that potential to have both.
Absolutely, absolutely. And the internet has allowed us to access things that previously were inaccessible. I would never have been able to run a workshop up in Aberdeen and get 50 people along without the internet. You had to live there. But now we're networking across the country. We're sharing skills, sharing ideas. It's very much about collaboration. We have to stop competing. We're all in this together. Every single one of us matters. Every single one of us has something inside that they need to get out. And that's really what it's all about. And, I teach letting go, which has been the thing that brought me into that place. You've got your shamanic journey. And so everybody has a different thing and at different times. So what we're really wanting to do is give people these tools hopefully before they need them. And if it's not before they need them, it's when they need them. But learn when you're not in that fight or flight state, because when you're in the fight or flight, of course, that you can't take things in. Whereas if you've got all these things that, right, I can go to a drum circle, I can do a visioning, I can let go, all the different things that people are going to learn when they come to Dundee. And often it's a reminder. And also often, I'm sure people say this to you, oh, I've done that. Yeah, but are you doing it? Because it's the repetition, it's the living it, it's the daily things that we do that take us where we want to go or where we don't want to go.
Absolutely.
And that's that's what's phenomenal about the amount of people that are interested in these events and really stepping forward, because it can even take courage to rock up at any event. I think some people can't aren't well enough to do that for whatever reason, so you can really start to see the energy moving. You're like, yeah, this is better. We're now actually starting to take responsibility for ourselves, for our children, our grandchildren, for each other. Because the goons in government are certainly not doing that. We have to do it ourselves. It has to be a groundswell.
I think it's fundamental to share what we know. It's so fun. Don't keep it to yourself. Spread it. It's like dropping that pebble in the pond, isn't it?
Absolutely.
And I'm certainly not precious about my work. I just want to share it,
I'm sure there's drum circles everywhere. It's you. You're part of the circle. And, different people are going to resonate at different times with different people. It's not personal. It's just like, you might not be ready to hear it. I can really trigger people with the things that I say because they're not ready to hear it. And I have to completely be in my understanding of what's the truth is, to be able to stand without feeling attacked, because we are all in this unfolding journey of realizing that everything is not as it seems.
It's about holding every situation with compassion.
Yes, that's it.
And non-judgment. That is one fundamental rule of being a Druid. We don't judge, And Absolutely. For years I would take things personally. Now I don't. It's just fine, that's how it is.
Yes. And I think that is getting an older thing, isn't it? Just, I don't know why people resist getting older. It's just the best thing ever.
Well, I've got 3 years on you, Lilia, so I'm quite happy to be 66.
Me too. It's just a wonderful stage of life. You're just not.
It's fantastic. It's fantastic.
Really is. So now there's going to be people watching this. Are you pretty much maxed out? Do people have to book to come to your circles?
Yes, they do. I put posts up saying the circles are closed. Literally, the last circle I did last Sunday was fully booked within 72 hours. I had 50 people. So I floated the next one. There's one this Sunday coming. That's full. There's another one they're every 2 weeks. And I floated the Imolc one yesterday. and there's 16 booked in already.
Wow. Wow. Fantastic.
And what I do is I have I send private invitations out to all those who attend as well. So the minute I do that, it's just going to go beyond.
So it's basically first come, first served.
Afraid so.
Fair enough. Fair enough. You snooze, you lose in this world.
I have a very deep core of people who come and support me all the time. And I'm so grateful to them, but there's new people coming all the time. So, and that's wonderful, so, and the 2 courses start in March. So that's going to take up a fair bit of my time as well.
Yes. And so what does that look like? Tell me about that.
Shamanic Earth Medicine is a 2-year course, and the first year is very much dedicated to finding you, because you can't do shamanic work from the ego state.
Right.
So it turns everybody upside down. You learn about working with the elements, the trees, and then the second year, and you learn about the Celtic side as well. The second year is given over to the practice of shamanism, the healing modalities that come into shamanism. So
do you do it online or do you do it in person?
Lilia, I'm absolutely scared of technology. I'm very much old school. I see you, I hear you, but I also feel into energies all the time. So it's directional. I tweak things to suit the people that are there. I may at some stage because the bigger vision is to move within the next couple of years, I will have to take it online, but we'll see.
But right now it's in person.
In person.
Do you have any spaces left?
No.
Okay, well.
I've actually always said one thing everybody will tell you, I can't count. And when I say the circles are going to have 40, they'll have 50. And I said for year 1 this year, there'd be 12. I've got 19. But a wonderful group of people, absolutely beautiful group of people. Amazing, coming from near and far as well. So, yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, I mean, definitely we're waking up and we're getting back to our roots, which is Mother Earth. How did we ever get so disconnected from her? I do not understand. From parking our food and everything, the plants, it's just like mental. I don't know how it happened, but anyway, we're now all starting to reconnect, and it's just phenomenal to see.
Well, I think that what you're doing, Lilia, is amazing. Let's get that connection going even further.
Yes, exactly. Brilliant. Listen, right, so I will see you in Dundee.
Yes,
and the tickets, I'll put the ticket link under the event, but healscotland.com/events. You'll see all the events. We're going to Dundee, then Aberdeen, and then Inverness. If you want to meet the wonderful White Raven, then please come to Dundee. But we're going to be around, and I really would like to get you to have you got a camper van?
Got a tent.
You've got a tent. Same.
10 free border collies.
Well, exactly. That's the thing about the dogs coming too, isn't it?
Well, yeah, we've got the new addition, young Ben. He arrived at the end of the year, so
lovely. Right, well, listen, thanks a million. I'll let you get back to your dogs, and I'll see you in Dundee in February, and I'll talk to you. I'll send you a private message around, see if you can come over to the festival. I would love when we're doing the Wim Hof breathing that we had a lot of drummers. I think that would be.
Let's do it.
Incredible. Brilliant. Right, thanks a million, hun, and I'll see you soon.
More in Ciao.